Revant Bhate, Mosaic Wellness, co-founder and CEO. While the overall healthcare market in India is about $250 billion, going to half a trillion in the next 5 years, the elective health market is much smaller. Less than 10% of healthcare spends in India are today on elective health. What we realized is that it's largely due to the fact that most of the solutions, whether products or services available in the market, are essentially a little inconvenient in nature and not very affordable as well. And that's why this is an interesting market, though very developed in the West, is quite underdeveloped in a country like India, which is also an opportunity for most businesses. The number of challenges that consumers face today in the elective health market is the lack of availability of choices in terms of the right kind of products that may help them, as well as services that seem expensive and not necessarily convenient and affordable to be done very, very regularly. This is also because the market was largely offline in nature, which has effectively added to the friction that consumers have to face as well. When we look at whether adding convenience, affordability, there is an interesting segment of online consumer behavior where e-commerce really increased penetration, realizing what are the inefficiencies of offline retail, and a similar inefficiencies could be looked at in terms of the elective health market as well. The opportunities here therefore are more to do with giving access to a lot more knowledge which will help consumers, giving access to consumers to like-minded people who are seeking solutions in elective healthcare as well, giving them access to medical experts which would be ideally very, very convenient through a digital medium, as well as making it affordable as well, and giving them products and in a very innovative form factor where habit creation is easy. The larger problem that we have seen in the elective health market is compliance of usage. It is very hard to continuously use a particular product when you don't necessarily need it. When we talk about elective health, by nature it's a consumer's choice, and hence thinking of products and form factors which would make it very easy for consumers to enjoy the process, enjoy the journey of health, is something that has not been done before. If you look at products, they are still largely around form factors like tablets, which seem medicinal in nature, which we usually take when we fall sick. And any consumer who's investing in their own health does not necessarily feel that he or she is sick, right? And therefore, this is something that we have seen in consumer behavior that need to tap into, and that's how we feel that the market will evolve as well. In late 2019, when me and my co-founder left our jobs, we were both 37-year-olds thinking about investing in our own health as well. And that is where the first idea into our first platform, which is Men's Health, came into play. We launched it in early 2020, where we realized that men have a very particular different way of a different behavior that they exhibit that women do not. It is very hard for men to open up as such because there was no platform that was enabling them to speak up or have their own voice, express their vulnerabilities, express their anxieties very, very openly. It's just a little hard for them to do so. And that is what we realize is the consumer insight for men, whether it is a 20-year-old or a 25-year-old or 30-year-old. If they could have a platform where they could just be themselves and express their needs and wants as well, that would be an interesting platform to build. And hence our segue into elective health for men started in that way, where we started providing a platform where there was significant amount of knowledge around any sort of health and wellness concerns that men would have. They would also get access to a community of like-minded men. They would also get access to medical experts where all their doubts and queries could get answered. And they would have access to products that looked at elective health, which were also very convenient and enjoyable to be part of a journey with. This is something that we started in May 2020. Interestingly, because it was the first wave of COVID, digital health had significant adoption as well. And over the next 1 year, we saw that we could serve almost 100,000 men, and they really enjoyed this platform a lot, which is where we went from our website to then launched our mobile app, where we started giving video consultations, chat with medical experts, and a lot of these features that have kept improving over time. And today we have proudly served almost 1 million men across this platform, across our products and services. What is interesting to note is that it is not necessarily curative as well. We also now see a lot more men who are thinking of investing in their health much before anything would happen. So what we call preventive health is also seeing an increased adoption on manmatters.com, which is our core platform for men's health, as well as the Man Matters mobile app. Now, the name obviously does evoke very strong emotions, and that was the other layer that we realized in elective health is important. Because the choice is with the consumer, you would want to generate a lot of trust and make sure that it is a pull-based business versus a push-based business. That instead of you going to the consumer should just get aware about what you do, and then they make the choice of investing in their own health with your platform. And hence we needed to evoke that strong emotion that what does the platform stand for, and hence matters of men which are not spoken about or which men find difficult to express is what Man Matters would make sure would be easier for them to do so. And that's how the platform was born and has got tremendous traction since then. When we started, we were very privileged to get the backing of leading VCs in the country. Elevation, Matrix Partners, as well as Sequoia Capital underwrote the seed round for the company. And once we gained a lot of traction and success in the initial stages, they also doubled down and led a Series A investment as well. In total, we have raised almost $35 million from these investors. And what we are very happy to see is that we are able to impact the lives of consumers in a very meaningful way. And this has also led us to understand that our thesis of going consumer first in making platforms that stand for the emotional needs of these consumers is the right approach for every consumer segment. So with the success of Man Matters in men's health, we have also launched Be Bodywise, which is a women's health coach. It's a platform for women's health, where we have realized that there are enough elective health needs that women may also need help with, specifically around areas like PCOS, hair loss that happens because of PCOS, and a few things that are not that easily understood in today's age. And there again, you need medical advice, you need access to a community of folks who have been going through similar problems, or who may have some advice to be given to each other as well.